Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching this from. Thanks to everybody who have been subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you know you have not subscribed, kindly click the subscribe button to get information whenever I post them and turn on post notification. Today I'll be talking on the politics of Ajimobi's death. This news is seen on this day newspaper. Except something else occurs that grabs the headlines and dominates Nigerian social media, the big news of the past week would probably be the death of Senators Abiola Ajimobi and the political drama that it has generated. Senator Ajimobi served as a senator between 2003 and 2007. He was governor of Oyo State between 2011 to 2015, then 2015 to 2019. He achieved the distinction of being the first governor in that state to be elected for a second term in office. He broke the jinx. His tenure as governor was quite controversial with mixed results and divided opinion. He was a very frank and outspoken governor who was also very conscious of his social status and the powers attached to his office. He was also quite audacious. He engaged the Olubadan in an open battle when he chose in one instance to transform some high chiefs of the Olubadan in council into bearded kings. There was also his infamous confrontation with students of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology (LAUTECH) who had stormed Government House to protest the prolonged closure of their school. Ajimobi hushed the students up and told them harshly that they should remember that they were in the presence of the constituted authority of Oyo State. The Oyo State government under his watch hold arrears of salaries. By the general election of 2019, his party, the All Progressive Congress (APC), stood no chance in the election. It was generally believed that the constituted authority had alienated the people he governed so much they were bound to reject the country's ruling party in the state. As expected, the APC lost the gubernatorial election to the rival People Democratic Party (PDP), whose flag bearer, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, is the incumbent governor of the state. In 2019, Ajimobi also sought election into the Senate. Nigeria's upper chamber is increasingly an old people's home for retired governors, but he lost the Oyo South senatorial bid to the candidate, again, of the PDP. He took his case to the Election Petition Tribunal. He lost again. In the face of this rejection, the APC consoled itself with the conclusion that the performance of their party in Oyo State did not amount to a rejection of the APC by the people, but a rejection of Ajimobi's politics. The same party would later reward Ajimobi with the position of Deputy National Chairman Southwest. His admirers insist that he was a hero, a bridge builder, and an illustrious Ibadan son and politician who made his own contribution to the development of his state and country. His time may just have been a bit harsh, they admit. Man lives, he dies. It is in the nature of all living things to die. Human experiences like love, achievement, social status can bring an individual much fulfillment, but death is the biggest event of our lives. It depends our mortality. It is arbitrary and tragic. Sorry, it is arbitrary and tragic because it marks the end of everything. It is not a form of completion because nobody ever completes life. Even a man of 100 still nurses hope, but with death, everything is finished. Death does not grant the dead a say in what happens to him or her, but there is a form of survival to it. The dead survive in social context, in the memory of those who love or hate them, and each recollection is absolutely beyond the control of the dead. The dead exist only as social identities. Culturally, we are expected to respect and honor them. This is seen as a moral obligation. We are also likely to feel offended if the people besmirch their memory. But what we often see is that this moral obligation is merely socially constructed. It cannot be imposed. It is determined by context and relationship. We have seen this at play with two recent high-profile deaths, that of former presidential chief of staff Malam Abba Kairi, whose death generated so much emotion that it has now formed the substance of a book titled Abba Kyari, Portrait of a Loyalist. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Sides of Public Servants in Nigeria, edited by Magnus Oyimbe. And now, the death at 70 of Senator Abiola Ajimobi. Both men died as a result of COVID-19 related complications. Both died in the same hospital, First Cardiology Consultant in Lagos. But if anyone thought Kyari's death was controversial, that of Senator Ajimobi to, would seem to be even more so. At the center of the latter is the ugly and totally avoidable conflict between Mrs. Florence Ajimobi and the Seyi Makinde administration in Oyo State. During a condolence visit to the Ajimobi led by the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, Mrs. Ajimobi turned on the deputy governor of Oyo State and accused the governor Seyi Makinde of playing politics with her husband's death. She said, "He didn't call me. Even if he had called me, I never missed his number. He should have sent text messages for recorded purposes. The governor of Oyo State never called me. He never signed the condolence message, never called even when my husband was on sick bed for 1 month. What politics are you playing, please?" The outburst was recorded in a video that has gone viral. The Oyo State government and the governor have responded almost in equal measure. The revelations have been unpalatable. It turned out that there were some disagreements over where the former governor should be buried. The government says the preferred location by the family is Agodi GRA, is a land that is under litigation. The permit that was eventually granted to allow Ajimobi to be buried in his Oluyole GRA home, we were told what we are told was even in violation of an existing law. Really, Governor Makinde's administration should not form the bad habit of breaking the law. No matter what, it was further established that the governor issued a signed condolence statement and had also made efforts to reach out to Ms. Ajimobi. He also ordered that the flag should be flown at half-past in honor of the deceased. When Mrs. Ajimobi watches that video again in the future, she may regret speaking too hastily. She only needs to do a review of the reaction to her outburst by the public. She has been accused of having a sense of entitlement. Who does she think she is? She asked. Some asked. The Agodi GRA property where she wanted her husband buried has also become a subject of many uncomplimentary remarks about her husband's integrity. She has even been told that if she loved her husband that much, why didn't she shut down her own shop the day her husband was buried? Ordinary Nigerians are not always nice to political leaders, dead or alive. Social media have given them such voice and freedom that has turned them into a constituted authority of their own. But the Oyo State government should sheath its sword and not add to Mrs. Ajimobi's grief. Esther Kubler-Ross, in a book titled On Death and Dying, wrote about the 5 stages of grief, and although the emotions of grief are not scientifically chronological, anger is one of them. When people lose loved ones, they tend to be angry for various reasons. Until they come to terms with reality, Mrs. Ajimobi deserves support, not abuse at this time. More people will probably still disappoint her, but if she must be angry, I believe that the people she needs to be angry with are members of the APC National Working Committee who used her husband as a means to their own political ends. By June 16, when Senator Ajimobi was named acting chairman of the party, as the infighting between factions raged, Ajimobi was said to be on life support. Didn't they know that? Party spokesperson lied that he was recuperating. By June 18, Fishayo Soyombo, an award-winning journalist, had gone on Twitter to announce that the senator was dead. He was challenged. He stood by his story. He said his source has never failed him. On June 25, the National Executive Committee of the APC dissolved the party NWC and set up a critical committee the same day Ajimobi's death was announced. What manner of men are those who will do political 419 with dying and death and turn a man they claim they love into a pawn? Fishayo Soyombo has been vindicated. A journalist is as good as his or her source. He deserves another award for his investigative journalism. And may God, the only constituted authority over and above all things, grant Senator Ajimobi's peaceful response. Thank you. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on post notification to get information whenever I post them. Thank you.